This first one. Again, this is the one from the previous part. Just kind of putting the pen down, moving your straight edge around to create all of the shapes for that part of it. Make it a little bit easier. To place on here. So just want to demonstrate that for you. So when you take a look at this, at least the beginning shape would be the same on this side. The only trouble is you want to keep your numbers of your vanishing points highlighted for that group. So for example, on this one, I'm just going to put the initial starting point right here. And I have to have almost like an isometric the angles of this. So if I slightly sketch this out in 3 directions, and go ahead and extend it off to the edge, just kind of free-handed at first. This one's going all the way up to this part here. Then that gives me the vanishing points. And since this is the second shape, I'm just going to put a number 2 next to all of these, so I know which direction they're headed. So then, from this point, go ahead and put the straight edge and line it up. Like so. Here it's going to this vanishing point in that perimeter. And you don't need to make, we're not making huge shapes, so you don't need to go all the way out there. But this represents at least the beginning part of this section. And if you remember from this kind of a paper model, trying to locate this point that then extends out 3 directions in the perspective for 3-point perspective. Once it's out here, I'm just going to arbitrarily make the distance and keeping it kind of light. And these points are going from all 3 vanishing points. So this direction, this one's cutting across over here. And once you line it up, you'll see that you don't need to draw it too far, just to intersect it right here, right at this spot. And then from this one, it'll end itself. And so now I have this rectangular shape that now I just have to project one side of it onto this plane. So depending on which direction I go, it's at an angle. Let's cut this piece off. So depending on where you do it, I could cut it from this side. I could take it from this direction. But either way, I'm going to lose a little bit of it, so that's okay. So I'm just going to take this section, and this doesn't have a vanishing point. This is just on the surface. And now I'm just going to connect this one to this vanishing point. And here you can kind of see the shape just lightly placed in there. I'll go ahead and heavy it up with the pen line. Place that in there. Cuts across, so you don't have to be too concerned because everything's all lined up for you. And then all these 3 segments here. So there you have this shape, kind of a rectangular shape that's been kind of a roof slant to it that you take off from the top. And sets that piece. And so you can see the first 2 shapes kind of laid out, and as you get set up, you can see how the shading's going to take place with the light source.